Hello, my name is Dr. Radhika Marsh. I have Luna next to me, but she is sleeping today on the sofa. Today I am talking about how it is that you move away from being a course collector to actually becoming an embodied healer, guide, space holder, coach, whatever it is you want to call yourself, medicine woman. We do not need another woman who has done 20 certifications but still does not trust herself. I say this from the greatest place of love as somebody who has done multiple certifications, a doctorate, undergraduate, post-certification, and more trainings over time. What I have learned from that process is that there is absolutely nothing wrong with learning. I love learning. But are you learning from a place of, I need something because I don't feel good enough in myself? Or am I learning from a place of, I want to learn this because it feels so exciting to me? Are you just learning, or are you living and breathing what you are learning? There is such a difference between the two things. When I created the Academy of Healing, I wanted something that was deeper for women to move through. A course that takes you beyond looking at a screen, learning a load of information, and actually brings you into how are you living and leading your life from a space of potency and power. There are a lot of experts out there who know a lot of information, that have the right words, that know the right words to use, but this doesn't necessarily make them powerful space holders. I have worked with women who do not have any of the certifications that I have, but have held the most incredible, powerful, potent spaces. And the reason is because they deeply trust and know themselves. They are embodied in their medicine. They're not dependent on research. They're not dependent on a piece of paper to guide them in how they're holding space. They are trusting of their own leadership. They are trusting of the spaces they hold and the power that their spaces have. I remember when I first got onto my doctorate in psychology, and I always felt this deep sense of, I don't belong here. I actually created a whole narrative for myself, which was the only reason you got on is because other people pulled out. The only reason you got on is because it was a fluke. The only reason you got on was by accident. You're no way as intelligent as the other people on this course. And this was such a deep wound for me, this wound around intelligence and comparison. And that wound didn't go away when I completed my doctorate. For the first time when I was moving through my doctorate, I couldn't believe it. I was getting such high marks on my assignments. It was such an unfamiliar experience because I had gone through school not getting those results at all. I was in the lower percentage of my class, of my year group, always being told that I was struggling. So this was such a internalized story for me, this story of failure, this story of I am not good enough. When I completed my doctorate back in 2010, I still didn't feel that sense of being good enough. I still did not feel that confidence of, I can do this powerfully. So I would do it and I knew that I could do it, but I always would see other people as being better than me, as being more powerful as me, as being more skilled than me. I completely bypassed my medicine and continued in the narrative of, I'm not good enough. What I realized over time when I started my business was that I was still making decisions from a place of not feeling good enough. I was still doing courses to tick a box so that I felt like I had all the information I needed because of fear. Even though I was an experienced psychologist, I still believed somewhere that I didn't know anything about trauma, which is absolutely ridiculous. All of it came from and stemmed from my identity and my sense of confidence or lack of it. I realized at one point that I was collecting all of these courses, trainings, certifications, but I was actually disconnected from my own power. This was the huge shift that came in for me. This shift around, what if I actually trusted my wisdom? What if I trusted my intuition? What if I trusted this inner knowing, this ancestral wisdom that I have always had and carried throughout this lifetime? The truth is that when you are leading from a place where you are constantly seeking enoughness in yourself, it doesn't matter how many courses you do, you will still return to that feeling in your body. It also becomes deeply exhausting, that constant seeking of, I have to do this thing so that I feel enough. It also costs a hell of a lot of money. I believe that knowledge is so important. It is so needed. There are so many healers out there that don't have the knowledge base that is needed to hold safe spaces, to hold spaces where you can really work with somebody's emotional wounds and traumas, and where you can also really deeply look after yourself as a space holder as well. This is why I created my own certification. However, there is the need for embodiment in that learning. There is a need to work with what is coming up in your own processes, in yourself, as you work through a certification, to be held in that. It's so important to have the space around the self-doubt that comes up, the sense of failure that comes up, the feeling of this isn't working. This is where we get to go deeper within ourselves, within our bodies, within our minds, within our soul, as to how it is that we move through these contractions that naturally come through life, but that epically speed up as well when we are on the path of consciousness and when we are entrepreneurs, business owners as well. Actually, what a lot of people are seeking in courses is actually the feeling of coming home to themselves. It is no wonder that we feel a sense of disconnection with how fast-paced society is and the expectations that we have on our lives, right? That have been placed on us, that aren't actually from our soul desires. They are standards and expectations from generations before us or from society, patriarchal narratives, colonial narratives. I want to take you through a 3-step process that you can just do today, right now, to really come back home to yourself. This is called the 3 phases of true becoming. First of all, number 1, bring awareness to the patterns that are arising for you in anything that you are seeking again and again. What are the patterns that are coming up? Why are you seeking that thing repeatedly? Notice where it's from a place of, I'm not enough, I'm not skilled enough, I'm not enough. Step 2, I want you to really tune into your power. Where is there that embodiment? Where is it that you have deeply trusted your inner knowing? Where is it that you've made a difference to somebody's life or to your own life through activating your own power, through activating theirs? I want you to really think of an example of this, and I want you to feel it in your body. What did it feel like to deeply trust that inner part of yourself? Maybe it was a moment where you just knew that you had to do something. A moment when you knew you had to leave. A moment where you knew that you had to take action. I want you to connect with this memory, with this part of yourself. What was it like to be in this energy? What was it like to be in that deep trust of your decision, where you just knew? And can you invite and expand that feeling into your body now? And breathe into her, the woman who knows, the woman who follows her internal sense of trust, the woman who knows that she is enough, more than enough. You can do the same thing here with that sense of enoughness. When in your life have you felt enough? Has there been a moment where you felt like, wow, I am enough in this moment? Can you find that memory? Can you go to it? What did it feel like in your body to know that you are enough? And can you invite that in today? That feeling, that remembrance into your body. And if you're struggling to apply that to yourself, if you're struggling to find a moment where you really felt enough, you can either imagine what it is like to be in that space, or you can actually tune into somebody who embodies a deep sense of confidence, worthiness, and enoughness. Can you bring her energy into your body? Can you hold the posture of worthiness, of enoughness, of value in your body? Can you position yourself with that confidence? So practice this. Practice this now. You can pause the video, or you can practice it after this video. Keep coming back to this expansive energy of worthiness, of enoughness. Keep coming back to it. Practice it every day. Embody it. Practice living it. What are you going to be doing if you're in the energy of I am worthy? I am the woman who values herself. And step 3, we've already touched on this. We're moving now into expression. You've identified within you this embodied version of value, of confidence, of enoughness. How does this version of you choose to express in her work, in her life? How does she want to express that? Is it through writing an incredible post that comes from the real, raw version of yourself? When I work with clients, there is a shift that I see. I work with really powerful women, but who don't always see themselves because of the experiences that they have had. When I work with them, we are not just working with learning. We are working with the threads of embodiment. We are inviting into the body this sense of power, this sense of, I am so much more capable than I ever thought possible. I am a leader. I am a CEO. I am a business owner, an entrepreneur. I am a fucking incredible guide for others. This is the energy that we bring, we invite in, and we meet the parts of ourselves that don't feel that way, because everybody moves through that. The practice of worthiness and confidence and enoughness is a practice. And this is what embodiment is. You are practicing it so that it becomes a lived reality in your body. We are shifting from the affirmation of I am enough, which you don't believe, to integrating it into your body, making that a familiar known rather than a distant, unfamiliar pathway. Whatever course you are doing, whatever certification, and like I said, I believe in the power of learning, you still have to go through this initiation as a healer, as a guide, as a space holder. And it is the initiation of moving from student to embodied guide. The Academy of Healing is a pathway that bridges this transition. You are not only learning in this space, you are living it, breathing it, embodying it, becoming the woman and the leader that you know exists within you. If you are ready to stop seeking and to start actually embodying, I invite you to start and activate yourself in my Activate the Healer Within You free course. This will walk you through 4 parts where you are going to activate transformation in the leader that you are here to be. And if you want to go all in, I am opening the doors soon to the Academy of Healing. There are only 20 spaces in our January cohort. If you want to become the medicine woman that you know exists within you, then I invite you into this devotional year of becoming the medicine. I will see you next time for a juicy episode of the Spiritual Psychologist. Stop seeking, start becoming.